myself and Dan and John are sitting down. We're going to reflect on last week's Premier League and next week's Premier League action. But all focus is on the Champions League as we are recording this show. It's half time in day one, match day one's first kickoffs, the early 5:55 kickoffs, and we've just looked at the Liverpool team sheet together. We're going to talk about Liverpool and Spurs now, so we might as well talk about the absence of Firmino. Sturridge is starting a Champions League game.
Do you mind?
Hello.
John and Dan are sitting down, like opposed to what? Standing up doing the podcast or something like?
No, sitting here with me, did I not say?
It's like John and Dan are sitting down. It's
well,
like
people might think that
like we're
we do the show remotely.
Or standing up. Like,
a lot of podcasts do it remotely. Skype.
That's a good point, actually.
Yeah, so I just want to let everyone know that the synergy between the three of us is because we can all see each other. Even though this particular episode, we're not going to look at each other much.
The synergy is with Dan on his phone watching the Barcelona match.
Well, no, it's keeping an eye. So we've got live updates coming in. I don't see us. We're watching.
I'm on the wrong channel here.
We're watching. Yeah, exactly. We've
Professionals
got
always.
McManaman and some other guy that I don't know.
Right, before we talk about real football, let's talk about the Irish team.
Yeah.
So obviously, during the international break, there was plenty of uproar, a lot of unrest in the camp, specifically due to Roy Keane, right? And Wardy, my Porto massive brother from another mother, he releases this exie on WhatsApp. His friends sell it to the Sun. We all hear it. First off, let me just ask this.
I don't think they sold it to the Sun.
He sold it to the Sun.
They sold it to the Sun, my friend.
How'd you know?
Because the Sun
Sun
had
were
it
the
as an
first people
exclusive,
to
sweetheart.
report it.
Yeah.
Was it not because it just got leaked out and like some random guy?
No, the Sun reported it, and then like the next day we all had it in our phones. So the Sun got it first, and then
Has Stephen Ward gotten in trouble?
I don't think he'll be.
he was injured, so he wasn't part of it.
He got his 50th cap.
Gene Keane's after him, though.
I don't think
with a
he'll
bazooka.
be back. I think the FAI will probably make a decision not to bring
He's
him
like
back.
33, isn't he? 32?
Yeah,
33?
all he wanted was his 50th cap, and he's happy.
All he wants for Christmas is his 50th cap.
Yeah, and he got it.
Okay, so anyway, the first result was shocking, right? I didn't see the game, I was abroad. You guys can talk about it in a moment. Then was a draw to Poland. A spirited performance, I thought.
Not to win that
A
match.
good response, yeah. So what is the answer to the suffering at the moment? Is it different players? Is it bringing back Houlihan? Is it kicking out O'Neill? Is it kicking out Keane? What are the answers, my friends?
Well, they can't change the players because
I don't think we've anything to worry about. Anyone who watched Nissan Swell Sunday on Sunday there could see the future of Irish football with Declan Rice and Doherty playing man of the match performances for Wolves and West Ham. Nothing to worry about. Absolutely nothing to worry about.
Dan, would you agree there? Spurs have done a goal. I can only presume it was Son. Just guessing.
it's a Spurs player. I think.
You don't know that.
Well, they come
don't
here for
know
this
that.
tactical analysis.
Yeah.
Well,
It's Christian Eriksen with a Lamella assist.
you know what I've always said about the
2016.
players, so and the team and the way it is.
Do you think Roy Keane is
what's
is
happening
a
now
bad
is
egg?
our grapes are just going to hatch. That's what Ted would say.
Your grapes hatch.
Is Roy Keane? Does Roy Keane need to leave?
Yeah,
He's a top six
well,
presence
obviously, if the as long as he was getting on with the players, but once there's an issue with management and players, and also the results have been that bad. Like if we had lost 1-0 to Denmark last November in the playoff, it would have been like, oh look, we were close. We were 84 minutes away from getting to a World Cup, and at 84 minutes we lost 5-0.
Yes.
Right at home.
Yes.
To a team who are better than us, but really they're not that much better than us. Like, we should be able to match them.
Well, given the recent performances, can you still say that with confidence?
Well, we haven't played well really since the Euros,
Yeah.
and that's true. I think, in my view, I don't think that's it.
We've had some of our
We
best
did
away
okay
performances
in
in
Austria
the history of
away.
me watching Ireland.
Austria away. I was
This
at
is
that
for
game.
the World Cup qualifications.
Yeah,
They did well.
Austria and Wales.
Wales, we soaked up pressure and one shot from goal.
Which
and we
is
soaked
what
up
we
goal.
do as Ireland.
But Dan, that's what they
Ireland do in
did.
a
That's
way,
what they did with Germany to get to the Euros. So is it really
No, Germany's
that
different now. Germany, look, you're not going to take Germany on the game when they just won the World Cup.
Wales were
Still
European finalists, weren't they? Like when we played them? Semi-finalists.
Yeah, it was about
yeah.
a year and a half later, though.
Yeah. Same players, though.
And they finished third in the group.
Look, is
They
there
finished behind us.
is there a crisis at the moment, or is
It's bigger than just what's going on.
Well, what
There's
I'm asking,
no players
Dan,
coming
is
through.
that
They've
the
got-
first result coupled with the Keane stuff, was it just
Yeah.
the perfect storm for people to throw their toys out the pram?
This manager never should have stayed on. Never
Okay.
should have been given a new contract. You can't like lose 5-1 and be absolutely embarrassed.
Yeah.
In like we haven't got to World Cup since 2002, and like just whatever hell happened that night. I think there's been tensions for a while because you could see like even the game against Georgia away this time last year, Serbia at home, which we were at.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
remember
I
that was
remember
terrible.
That was
Ivanovic
It was awful.
It was so
Yeah.
cold.
They were down to 10 men for
It was
half an hour.
It was so
It was so
cold.
cold.
If there's one thing I remember about that game. Where did we go afterwards? Oh, we went to that bar in the corner of Pierce Street.
Yeah, that was a lovely point.
That was a lovely
And
pint.
warm.
Warm. Okay, well,
But yeah,
listen,
look, I think
yeah.
Delaney has to restructure things. I've said before they should be concentrating League of Ireland. I think that's my point's been proven now. It's all coming to shit. Now the only way, well, fair, right? The only way we've been
Just
getting
your
players
turn
in,
of phrase is all.
the only way we've been getting players in, and our best route has been the granny rule, right? We've had 2 players pull out of the squad this month who are playing in the Premier League now. Arthur's playing for Neil Warnock midfield. Maybe we can look at that one and go, maybe he's not as good as he thinks he is. But Rice definitely has a future and is playing well with West Ham.
Okay.
And he played all the way up with us for under 21s, and now all of a sudden he's pulled out of the squad.
Yeah.
So if we're not actually retaining our players from the granny rule,
No.
and we're not producing players, and we don't want to make a league,
Oh, but
where
no-
are we going to get any players? And it's an obvious thing.
I think. Look, you're right. If we're not keeping players on who were at one stage in their careers sold, and then at the last minute decided to turn and run, I agree with you. But is the granny rule actually that precious to Ireland?
course
When
it
was
is.
the last impactful granny rule player?
Walters was one.
Yep.
Duffy. Well, I suppose that's a slightly different thing than
That's
Northern Ireland
yes,
guys.
That's different.
It is a bit different.
It's Walters, and
Well-
then before
well, like-
that, who was it?
Any decent player who has the chance to play for England over Ireland is going to do it. The whole Declan Rice thing, like he was probably looking at Ireland and then he saw, it coming home on the summer and was like, they look like a great bunch of lads. And then he saw that Eric Dyer, maybe the worst midfielder in the Premier League, starts for England, and Jordan Henderson is captain of Liverpool and doesn't even get in the starting 11. It's probably like, I could probably get in that midfield
No,
for
but, like,
England, so
what I'm trying to
I'd
say
play
is
for them too.
having this as the main source
He's defender though.
as players getting them is for the granny rule.
Yeah.
Can people not see how flawed this tactic is? Oh, we're producing players, but actually England are doing it for us, or Scotland are doing it.
Yeah,
Like,
but see, Dan, I don't think there's a
it's
reliance on
just-
it. There isn't a reliance on it. Like the
But,
majority,
but there is.
But the majority of the great Irish players over the last 15 years are
Yeah,
Irish players.
and you know who the best players in our squad are at the moment? They all came from League of Ireland the last 2-3 years.
Yeah, so there's not
So
an
why don't we put the
over-reliance.
money in there? It's
Look,
clear.
Dan, no one is saying that we shouldn't put
John
money
does.
into League of Ireland.
Son, offside. John doesn't believe that's the way to go.
Okay, this is this is a different.
I just don't like. It's a good idea in theory, but it doesn't make
I
sense.
don't want to. I'm not doing
It
this now.
doesn't
I'm
make
not doing
sense.
this now.
Like, what money to what League of Ireland? How do you do
Okay,
that?
no, we're not doing this now. We have to dedicate an entire
Give
show
each
during
club a
International Week
fiver,
to this.
and then that'll probably make up.
We have
for it.
to, and the only way to do it fairly is we have to have this has to be like presidential debates where we give people minutes. And I want to give both of you
I'm
minutes.
not doing that. That takes a lot of research.
You made your point. You're never saying it again. Okay,
I never said that.
I didn't look
I
at
never
your.
said
I didn't look at your.
I
run-
never
Give
said
me
that.
Trump.
I didn't look at your running order, Dan, and I've already done 2 of your 3 topics. Isn't that great? Wes Houlihan joins West Brom. Houlihan.
Thought he was retired.
John did legitimately ask that before we went on the air.
But
Is
there was,
just retired
there
from
was a big
Ireland.
deal at the end. No, because when he left Norwich, it was a big deal, and like he had a big emotional speech and cried a little bit, and your one made him a nice meal and gave him a hug.
Who? Delia.
Delia,
Delia
yeah.
Smith.
You won.
As
Yeah.
far as I'm aware, I think he was voted like one of the greatest ever Norwich City players. So I think that was, and he had 10 years there. So,
That come with a trophy.
Yeah.
well,
is that
something to
more?
do with me. So that
that-
would probably
It's
explain
like when
why he had a
Everton
nice
fans.
send-off.
It's like when Everton fans gave David Moyes the manager of the century, and they've only had one manager in 10 years.
Is it less or more prestigious than the Scott McTominay Award?
Yeah.
Which one is? Which
What's
one's?
the Scott McTominay award?
Jose Mourinho gave his
Dan.
player of the season to Scott McTominay. He only made like 5 appearances.
No, he made
Oh.
up a new reward that they don't usually have at the Man United year ends, and just so Scott McTominay could win an award.
I don't know.
He loves him, you see. All right, moving on to Premier League roundup, I suppose. The weekend started with Spurs versus Liverpool. Liverpool's first big challenge of the season away to Spurs, and it should have been 7-0. It ended up 2-1.
Liverpool are undefeated, and I can't tell if they're good or not.
I
They
am
are good.
absolutely with you.
They are good.
Is it really weird? And I'm going to kick myself after I say this and Liverpool lose tonight. But why was I happier with dodgy Liverpool scoring 8 goals a game than I am with grindy Liverpool
I
winning
think
5
because
games in a row?
But to be honest, I thought your style of play was really good the other day. Like I
No,
thought,
no,
like,
in all fairness, we could have
if
scored-
If you're talking about style of play,
We could have
you've been
scored more than even in the West Ham game.
You've been probably more pragmatic this year in terms of like seeing out games and stuff.
No doubt.
Like if that's what you wanted was like before was all out attack against. It's like when you're playing FIFA or Pro Evo and you're 2-0 up and you're still gone all out attack for no reason.
Yeah.
That's what was going on.
Yeah.
No, I think
But
the
now
Spurs
you've
midfield,
settled down a bit.
Spurs midfield wasn't there. Eric Dyer was atrocious,
Dyer
and
is just-
James Milner
well-
was like, "I'm good at this. I don't play international football."
Well,
I've had the
one
2
thing
weeks
that's
off."
important to
Dyer-
bring
but
up
Dyer's
is that
hasn't been good
our
in years.
finishing has not been great this year at all. Like everything,
Salah's finishing hasn't been good.
well, I would say that the majority of our
Well,
front three are not
Ma-
making the right
Mane-
choices.
Mane and Salah in particular were very, very, very selfish.
There was
2
two
or 3
instances.
times where they
Two.
got in, and it was like, if you just square it there, I think.
Yeah.
And then like
was-
Sturridge wasn't pressing. He was so annoyed with his strikers.
He was.
It was just like, and to be honest, you were very close to getting caught. Now people were saying that was a penalty at the end. I didn't really. I saw it live. I didn't see a replay.
I think it was.
Same, yeah.
So like in theory, it could have been Desmond.
Oh, it
right,
could have been,
but it would have been
absolutely.
outrageous
It would have
because. But like I think again,
Yeah, so that was
oh
just
my
after
God.
that was after the Lamela goal. Wijnaldum scored his first away goal in the Premier League, and then Firmino scored before getting poked in the ruddy eye.
that was the most painful looking picture ever.
I'd be surprised if you listen to our show and you haven't seen the picture of the finger halfway in his eye. I was saying to Dan yesterday, John, that when he went down, even though he doesn't have the same attitude as most South American players when it comes to diving, he did the whole grab the face thing. So I was just like, okay, get up. Big Fur, come on. Get up, Big Fur. Big Fur. Big Fur. So, yeah, and he's out of this game, and this could be huge today for Liverpool and PSG.
and is there a diagnosis on his injury, or is he
He will be back
just a
at the
scraped cornea or something? Or
Something very much like that. I read he was touching.
He'll be fine anyway.
He'll be fine for next week. It's not a
For
long
Saturday.
For Saturday.
Okay.
So there you go. Okay, moving on. Any other thoughts now? That's pretty much it. Spurs look tired.
After years of watching teams like Bolton and Stoke crowd out Liverpool's goalkeepers, it was nice to see Liverpool do it to someone else. And Vorm, even though he made some great saves and probably kept Spurs in the game, he was definitely at fault for both goals.
He's definitely a weakness. But I know they. Spurs
But then again,
looked,
Lloris is not a great.
What do you think of them not stripping the captaincy?
I think he's a player that's kicked up a fuss about a captaincy before. I think he left the club he was at before when he went to Spurs because they wouldn't give him the captaincy.
I don't think
Leon?
that's why they're doing
was
it
he
though.
not captain of Leon?
No, he wasn't. They wouldn't give it to him. And then
I don't think that's
Oh,
why
it would have
they're
been Tulalan, was it?
I don't think that's why they're doing it though.
No, I think he should
think
have
they
been, but I
Do you?
I just think if you should get punished and
Okay.
you
I
get a
think
speedy
I'm
fine.
sure
If he-
Pochettino
If he gets enough of a fine, that's enough punishment for
I'm
him.
sure, like,
Well, people were coming to his defense like, at least he was driving slowly. It's like his car was covered in vomit. He shouldn't have been in the fucking thing at all.
he was
Was it?
driving. He was
Yeah.
driving about 20k. That's how he was driving two. It was like Ross
Yeah.
and Friends. He was driving 5 times under the limit of the speed.
And time stood still. Spurs with a chance there. Okay, Leicester and Bournemouth. This was fun.
This is 4-0.
4-2. 2 goals for Fraser, 1 for Adam Smith, King, Albrighton and Maddison getting the 2 back for Leicester.
I think we might have our first manager sacked, which will be Claude Puel.
I was sort of hoping for Mark Hughes. Brighton are sort of
he
helping me with
was,
that.
He was seen as last year. A lot of people were actually surprised he stayed on the club, but I think there's an issue with that. Like what happened with Ranieri, it was going great, went to shit. He was gone. Your man came in then. Shakespeare, was it?
Yes.
Yeah, he came in doing really well. Then all of a sudden, it just goes to shit very quick. Puel did a good job. Then all of a sudden goes to shit. But another thing as well, apparently they drove from Leicester down to Bournemouth, which is a 5-hour, 6-hour drive.
Rather than get the flight.
And they didn't get a flight. And they were, 5-6 hours in a coach going all the way down. They're going through rush hour traffic and all that. And apparently a lot of the players were not happy. So I think there is a thing when the going gets tough in that club. They do, a lot of the players... Maybe Captain Morgan, all of them are leading. I don't. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Yeah, I
But
don't know.
The poor
Like,
Leicester City centre backs, though, the King and Fraser gave them an awful time. Morgan ended up getting sent off for 2-second yellows.
That's
and
right.
Maguire was sort of lucky to stay on as well. People were comparing I think Bournemouth players themselves were comparing their front three to Liverpool's front three.
Yeah.
And comparing the manager to Pep Guardiola. So
Oh,
They're going a bit
he's
mad, but
unbelievable as a manager.
Yeah, he's
Eddie Howe is doing
He says his
the
only
best
weakness
job
is signing
in
players.
English
so-
football.
Yeah, very good, very good.
Like the attendance, I think the full capacity of Dean Court. Is it this replay? Isn't it? No, it's the Fatality. Sorry, it's like 11,500.
yeah,
Like,
amazing.
You know, it's and they're nowhere near really relegation in a year. Like
No,
they might flirt with it, but then they can go on a run and win 5 in a
Yeah.
row, and they're fine.
I don't think anyone has.
And I think they could get top 10 again. They got 9th last season.
Yep, I wouldn't have them going down this year from the three of us in our
No,
predictions. I don't
no,
think
no.
so.
No,
Chelsea
no.
and Cardiff. Dan wants to make a note about talking about these as dark horses. When I was doing my top 4 predictions, speaking of the predictions, I just looked at Arsenal and I looked at Chelsea and I was like, one of these guys will get top 4. I'm convinced. Just one of them. And I went with Arsenal. And I look like a big tit. Hazard was incredible. Player of the season so far, I would say. Willian with the other goal. Bamba got one for Cardiff. Chelsea look fantastic. 5 from 5 as well.
Look, they're great going forward, and Jorginho's been great. I think they are still weak at the back.
I wouldn't say that, man. I'd say it was a moment of madness against Arsenal. They haven't had
A moment of madness. It was a
they haven't
moment
really-
of 45 minutes madness.
20 minutes.
And they
20
haven't really played
20
anyone
minutes.
else. Like even
haven't-
Cardiff's goal was a bit of a hit and hope sort of
Well,
thing.
Yeah.
I
like
wouldn't.
Bamba.
I'm
There
just saying,
hasn't
going
been any other
forward,
issues,
with
though,
Hazard
Dan.
on form,
Yeah.
Jorginho has had like so much.
Pass
I think
accuracy.
I think he's the highest passer in the league, highest possession for a player, most successful passes, most forward passes. I like Kante's new role actually a little bit more further forward because all he does is keep running. That whoever you're in whoever's told to mark him is going to be absolutely exhausted after an hour.
Can I give you a couple of stats when we were talking about stats?
Is this about
maybe an
Kante
issue
missing his train home and getting a curry with a lad?
No, why don't you go ahead then?
Kante was praying. I think he's Muslim and he missed his train home, so he just went to some guy's house and had a curry and watched Match of the Day on Saturday night.
Yeah, some random
That
fellas
is
go.
amazing.
Nice lad.
Okay, James Milner versus Tottenham Hotspurs. Most distance dribbled, most distance ran, most average high speed, most passes complete, most tackles won, most chances created. First place for all of those, James Milner. What's happening to this man?
What's this got to do with Chelsea Cardiff?
Yeah,
No, it's just we're
we're
talking about
I
stats.
was talking about Jorginho, and you go, "I've got a very good stat for you."
Because you were talking about his pass accuracy, weren't you?
Yeah, but
I don't really like those Jorginho stats. Like I'm not sure if that includes the Cardiff game, but I know his stats went mad up for the Chelsea match where Rafa Benitez did nothing. and
well,
just he
they
was
have
able to
played
pass it.
Huddersfield,
Yeah.
Cardiff, and Newcastle. 3 teams who just don't want to attack. Oh, I like this guy coming on, Balde. He's good.
I love him dearly.
Hazard looks
Sorry.
great though. Bamba was interesting. He struck me as he scored and he was like, I've made the difference here. I've made the difference. And then sorry,
Neil
you
loves
guys-
Bamba.
Oh,
yeah,
he's
he
so
looked
good.
like he celebrated mad. He's like, I've made the difference here. I'm going to win this match for my team. And then he was at fault for 3 of their 4 goals, pretty much.
Dan, you never made a big enough deal about Bamba being in the Premier League.
He's playing for Neil Warnock. So.
Yeah, well, like he's one of those. Like
He
he's
did
he's
a great
wholehearted,
job
like,
for you.
He's wholehearted, but like
He is. Huddersfield and Crystal
that's only get you so far, won't it?
Huddersfield and Crystal Palace, Zaha with the only goal, player of the season by far. They're German international who had their player of the season so far.
How many do you
I
get,
think,
Neil?
I think that he's missed 12 games in the last year, and they haven't won one of them.
Makes sense.
It's just
So why is there record signing German international yet to play a minute?
Max Meyer.
Yeah.
Was he not a free transfer?
Okay, but whatever. Still, German international.
He's well, like he could ask, why is Fabinho not playing? Why is Torreira not playing?
Well, yeah, but it's not.
Why are these like? Obviously, they have to get settled in, or
Well, Dan, I think Liverpool are doing a little bit better than Crystal Palace. There's been times where they look hopeless up front, and you would think that you'd give them a
Zaha's
few
goal
minutes.
was
Myers
spectacular.
a midfielder.
He's coming out a bit. He's getting a bit angry.
He's a goal scorer too, though.
He,
Very much so.
He's
He's
getting.
a midfielder.
No, he's a
not
winger.
going to solve like the goal
Are we
scoring.
still talking about the player who hasn't played?
Yes, we are. Please continue.
Zaha's
And
goal was a
James
cracker.
Uh,
Milner,
I have a fun.
I've got a fun stat about it. Go on.
I have here different ways.
Mo Salah had 2 expected goals against Spurs and didn't score any of them. What was it? Zaha's goal was great. He's getting riled up though. In the last 2 matches, he's gotten some awful tackles that
Yeah.
he failed, should have been sent off. He came out after the match being like, "I have to get my leg broken to get people sent
Well,
off."
the
here."
Watford game.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's not
was
going to stop. Like people just
really,
kick the
that
shit out of
one
him.
was it? Who was it? Who got was it? Decore
Capoue.
or Capoue? Sorry, Capoue. That was actually like a career-ending injury. That was like if he had got him properly, like you know. But
Where will Zaha go next year when he?
I always thought he'd end up at Spurs.
Yeah, yeah.
I always thought he
yeah,
was
yeah.
a Spurs player,
That's-
but
that
again,
makes
maybe
sense.
now it's like
Chelsea.
Don't think Spurs have
But
the
they're going to
money.
look for like 70, 80 million for him. They're going to look for something absolutely ridiculous.
They'll get
Maybe
it.
maybe if Hazard goes to Madrid or something, but
Chelsea. I
Then
think I was going to say
Chelsea,
Chelsea.
it strikes me as a London sort of.
There's a shout for Arsenal.
No,
No.
they wouldn't pay that for him.
Oh, they wouldn't pay 80. You're probably right. Man City and Fulham.
By the way, but Arsenal though,
yes.
Ivan Gazidis left today. Big news.
Say that again.
The
Oh, he's
CEO.
sold his stock.
No, he's CEO.
Did he not have stake as well?
I don't think so.
I think that a lot of it was.
well,
him
he's
being
chief
bought
exec,
out.
so I
Yeah.
don't think he'd.
Is he the guy that they bought who got all the Dortmund players and then left?
No. That's
Yeah, this guy's been here.
We
for
hired
Miss-
Dortmund scout.
Miss
I'm
not
sorry,
Indian
two
or
Dortmund
something.
players.
Is his name. No, but
I
Gazidis
know
was
who.
he was the chief exec and was apparently the guy who was backing Kroenke and not spending any money and all
Yes.
this and keeping Wenger on and all this. So he was bringing the club backwards. So he's gone. So pretty much everyone from that board and the major influences in Arsenal the last 5-10 years, bar Stan Kroenke, are gone.
Yes,
So
it is.
you're
It is
finally
a
seeing
changing
a new
club.
era there.
Yeah,
So
very much so.
Are we not talking about Man City?
Yes. Speaking of a new era,
all
Man
for
City's
guys are-
Dembele, it looks like.
You guys are all over the place here.
Man City's owners came out this week and said, in lieu of the new documentary, and said, "This is only the beginning of 10 years of dominance."
I was in my friend's house to watch the football on Saturday, and he just recently got a Nintendo Switch.
Are we not allowed to say Adam Joyce's name on the podcast?
I suppose a friend of the show, Adam Joyce, who's
Friend
never
of the
listened to the show. And he just got the Nintendo Switch, so he had like Mario Kart, and he had this game where you just fuse a bomb. It's a team thing. It's really good fun. Anyway,
is it better than the cooking game?
maybe a little. Oh, exactly. Anyway, we were playing that in between the Spurs
Sorry,
match
Osman
and then the
Dembele
City
putting
Fulham
a real
match.
goal for Barca, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
So what?
Putting it out there.
Thank you, Dan.
And then we put
Talking
on the
about
City
football,
Fulham
football
match,
show.
but then Fulham didn't show up, and City scored almost immediately. And then
Yeah.
City's mascot was a 102-year-old, and she told David Silva he had to score, and he did. So that's all that matters about this match.
That's quite incredible. Did she wear like a full gimmick?
She wore a full gimmick, yeah.
No, she was a full
Actually,
kid
there was
wanker, yeah.
two. There was a 98-year-old, a 102-year-old.
You can't call a 102-year-old woman a wanker. Sterling, David Silva, and Sané were with the goals. Guerrero 2 assists. Anything else to be said? I think you.
Pep
captured it
Guardiola
pretty well.
cancelled their day off the next day because their finishing was not great.
No, their passing was not great.
Oh, was it? Their
Yes.
finishing was also dreadful.
Yes, he said he doesn't mind if people miss chances, but there's no excuse for misplacing a pass.
I still don't think City have hit anywhere near top form yet.
Oh dear.
Well, they haven't really been
Has anyone, though?
amazing. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. No one's really. I think, obviously you guys are top full 100%. I think Chelsea have probably been the best team without playing anyone great.
Yeah.
But I think obviously Chelsea have a tough game this week. I believe the West Ham away.
It's still early days, but
Probably a bit.
the way I'm looking at it at the moment is I think there's like a 3-pack, and then Man United at an island to themselves, and then everyone else. Do you know what I mean? With Arsenal and Spurs kind of starting.
Well, Arsenal's first two games, which are very difficult,
Yeah.
they've done well.
They've done what they needed to, and we'll get
Since-
to them right now. Arsenal and Newcastle. Xhaka with a dirty free kick and Ozil scoring. Clark got the only goal for Newcastle.
Goal for Messi.
This what's the score there now? 3-0?
3-0.
Yeah. Aubameyang just loves not scoring, ruining my life. What do you think of this game?
Xhaka's goal is very nice.
Yeah, he's
This-
great at doing
This match could have
long-range
been
shots.
nothing, like a nothing result. It needed a bit of magic, which Xhaka
Well,
provided.
We're seeing now that maybe with Torreira, he got 45 minutes. I don't know why he's just not starting games. Or maybe it's a language
Probably why
barrier.
Meyer isn't
I
it?
don't know. Or
Oh, Meyer, Fabinho, who knows?
it is weird though. But he's playing 20 minutes here and there, which is the other guys just aren't playing.
I hear Fabinho still waiting to start for Chelsea.
Robinho,
He signed for them quite a few years back actually.
he thought he did.
Man United and Watford. We were all hoping for a Watford result here. I think it's very biased to say, but we were.
I think Fellaini's the most underrated player in the Premier League.
He's so great. He's so amazing.
He's so good.
He's so good.
It's just, and it's because of the new agey pass the ball Barcelona sort of stuff that these big lugs don't get the love. And
He's
I'll,
such a shit
and I'll
house.
talk about Arnautovic later. But Watford beat Spurs by bullying them. United played a big bully midfield of Pogba, Matic, and Fellaini.
Bully midfield. It was such a bully.
Oh,
midfield.
bullies are
Gary
fun.
Monk.
Gary Monk.
There were so many bullies on the pitch, like the
He-
centre
he
backs,
beat the shit out of
Lukaku.
them. Like Lukaku scored with his belly.
You know, Pogs.
Yeah.
Pogba was really good in this
He
game.
was. Mike Smalling was right. Watford may be
Right.
unlucky if any other goalkeeper against other than David De Gea, they might have got a point out of it. Like it was very similar to the Liverpool
Yeah,
Spurs
David De
match. They couldn't nick it.
David De Gea looked like David De Gea again for the majority of the
But,
match.
United are still quite good.
Yeah.
All right, moving on. Burnley and Wolves. Jimenez with the only
Burnley
goals.
are
This is
trouble.
This is Joe Hart's best ever performance,
Was it?
and he still lost 1-0. He
No,
was
his
great.
best ever performance against Barcelona. Was it 4 years ago in the Champions League?
He also lost that match.
He had 15 saves and saved a Messi penalty, I think, did he? Or
He did, yeah. Yep. The Messi penalty save. Joe
Burnley are
Hart.
going down. It's great.
But yeah, Burnley.
Trouble,
was
trouble,
slaughtered
trouble,
by
trouble,
you,
trouble,
Neil.
trouble, trouble. Sorry?
Was slaughtered by you for saying Burnley could be in trouble.
But no. I disagreed about
No.
the Europa League being
No.
being the factor and like should they throw a game. I think in reality they're just awful this year.
You said you'd be top 10.
I did say they would be top 10 probably. No, did I say top
You
10?
did.
I
Top 10, I
didn't
don't
think
know.
they'd be relegated anyway. That's for
I
sure.
said they'd probably just be all right, but they'd definitely be down there.
Well, they're really bad.
They've tiny squad. They've seemed to have no pace this year. They just a lot of teams have come back like slugs, haven't they?
Well, they
I think
no
it's,
one's
I think
really
it's
like-
coming back
before-
so soon after the World Cup.
before the break, yes. After the break, you still need to give it 2 weeks before you know for sure. A lot of teams were just
like-
bollocks before the break, to be honest.
But like I don't know. Like there wouldn't be too many internationals in that Burnley.
No,
team.
there wouldn't. No,
Like,
they came back.
Why are they
unfit,
so?
I guess.
Like I know but they would have started pre-season earlier as well, so they should be actually fitter than everyone else. It's by after Christmas they should die a death.
Yeah, I
You know what I mean?
suppose.
Because
Yeah.
they started pre-season about 3 weeks before everyone.
Everton and West Ham. West Ham. Is this West Ham's first win of the season?
It's first points.
First points of the season, and they're now out of relegation in 16th place.
Marco
Is that right?
Silva is such a spoofer. Not since Roberto Martinez as a manager failed upwards as well as this man. He hasn't kept a clean sheet in his last 16 Premier League matches.
Really?
That's 2 clubs. They were dreadful in this match. They have, like last year, they had too many attacking midfielders. This year, they have too many
They've no
wingers.
strikers.
They've Cenk Tosun, who played Champions League last year. He's dreadful, though. He's like Hugo
He's-
Benteke. He tries a bit harder,
Yeah,
but
he's
just as
a
bad.
big awkward fella up front who kind of gets you a goal, but he's for they've spent how much money, they still don't have a good striker.
If they had a...
Oh.
If Arnautovic, if he was in form, he could be like one of the players. Like he could play for a top 4 team. He's like,
Yeah.
on his day. He's
Fair to
absolutely
Moyes. Moyes converted him to a number 9. Like it's the best thing Moyes has ever done.
Yeah. Well, he was player of the manager of the century. Actually, if you remember, at one stage.
Some nice goals here by West Ham as well.
Southampton and Brighton.
Wilshere out, by the way, for was it 2 months with an ankle injury?
Oh
Surprise,
yeah,
surprise.
yeah. Surprise indeed. Do you want to give your Danny Ings stat?
He's as many Premier League goals now for Southampton as he did for Liverpool in the last 3 years.
Yes.
He's played how many games for Southampton?
5.
4.
Well, I don't know if
And
he
one
played.
sub?
Don't know if he played much more for Liverpool, but
He did. Well, actually, all right. Ings and
The only goal I
Hotspur-
remember him scoring for you was against Everton and Brendan Rodgers' last game. That's the only thing I can remember.
He scored
he
at the end
scored
of
a
last
nice one
season.
against Norwich, and he scored.
It's the only goal I can. Well, like
he scored against
something.
West Brom last season.
Scoring, yeah, he did.
That
Who
was it.
didn't? Duffy and Murray, the Brighton duo, getting the 2 for them
Southampton can't hold. I think they've lost 26 points in this
in
year
a leading
to 2018.
position. Yeah.
Well, I think
Uh,
Bournemouth have earned around that amount from
This
behind.
match had a nice bit of drama for Monday Night Football, but no one watched it, so it doesn't matter.
No.
Nice goal by
Oh, great goal by Højbjerg. Really
Højbjerg, that was it.
great. I don't know how he. Like, the ball wasn't even moving.
Yeah, he just took it under control.
Yeah.
Gentlemen, I'd like some predictions for next week. Fulham and Watford, starting with John.
See how Watford are after Saturday, but I still think they're a solid team, and he knows the strongest, so I'd say Watford just about.
Okay.
I think Fulham.
All right.
But it'd got a lot of goals in it.
Burnley and Bournemouth.
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 Cardiff and Manchester City.
4-0 City.
Arsenal and Everton.
You're not asking, John?
Arsenal.
For City.
Oh, sorry, Cardiff City.
Oh, City.
Ah, yes. Crystal,
Arsenal will
Crystal
beat
Palace.
Everton.
There was a
Newcastle.
question.
3-0. 3-0
There was a
Arsenal.
question on Football Weekly that if Lionel Messi played for Cardiff, would he be able to keep them up?
Like,
That wasn't Football 365.
yeah.
Oh, maybe it's Football 365.
It was Football
Yeah.
365.
Said it.
I don't know.
And they finished 18th, even though Messi was top scorer, wasn't it? Or
Yes.
something. Yeah.
Crystal Palace and Newcastle.
Oh, Palace at home.
Palace.
won that, yeah.
Leicester and Huddersfield Town.
0-0, I think. Like both these teams are struggling. But like Jamie
Huddersfield
Vardy's a
actually
bit-
seemed to do okay against Palace, but like
Against
they're-
Leicester? Oh, sorry, they did okay against Palace. Sorry.
I just think they're away from home, they're not going to pick up much. I think Leicester aren't playing great, but they should just have enough for them.
Liverpool and Southampton. Does Ings score?
He
Yes.
probably does.
Is he left or is he gone or on loan?
No, he's on loan. He can't
He's
play.
on loan.
So surely he's
He's
on play
tied.
then.
He's tied. Yeah, I'm joking.
Liverpool
Liverpool.
3-0.
Man
Salah to score
finally. Man United versus the Wolves.
draw.
United.
What'd you say, John?
United, definitely.
Draw.
Brighton and Spurs.
That I can't call that because Brighton are really good at home.
Yes, they are.
But Spurs aren't playing brilliantly. Since the Man United game, they've been like really bad.
Yeah.
I will go. I think Brighton will get a draw.
Okay. And West Ham versus Chelsea.
I sort of want Chelsea to win this because Liverpool Chelsea play each other next weekend. I'd like them both to be 6-6 when they play each other.
Okay.
Chelsea
Yeah.
2-1.
So for
Chelsea
the
2-1.
narrative,
Okay, speaking of narrative, we'll have a quick look at the Champions League games over the next couple of days. And in regards to undefeated teams, both PSG and Liverpool are 5-0 at the moment. So that record will...
it's actually just Paris now.
Sorry?
They've done a whole redevelopment. They've got rid of the Eiffel Tower in their kit, and it's Michael Jordan jumping. And
Is that not
they're
for just
they're
the away jersey?
they're just Paris now.
Are they really
It's
just
for Air
Paris?
Jordan or something. It's not that the away jersey though. No.
No,
Okay.
they did a whole thing with the Bleacher
Oh, really?
Report about they're the new hip club and all these famous, all the Kardashians and
Cardi. He's good. Didn't make the World Cup squad.
The captain of captains.
Didn't they hate him though? Like
What a
last
noise
year?
that
The
must
fans
have been.
hated
If
him
anyone's
for
still
a while, didn't
Because he said he was going to leave, and then he was like, "Okay, I'm," and then he got death threats from the ultras, and he was like, "Okay, sorry, I'll never leave. Bye."
they? I thought that was the worst pass by Asamoah, but he actually just picked him out perfectly.
Well, that's because it's the beast Asamoah.
the beast! Like it looked like
There's
you
so
couldn't
many.
see a Cardi. Look.
There's so
Like,
many.
That's a terrible. No, it's not. It's perfect.
There's so
That's
many
reminiscent of
Italian.
Beckham to Scholes. That's unreal.
There's so many Italian luminaries in this team, like from the league over the last years, like them signing De Vrij after losing Bonucci, who went
Yeah.
back to his
They never had Benucci.
Oh, sorry, excuse me, not Bonucci, who left.
Rory McLaughlin, is he still there?
Oh no, who left this year at centre back?
They still have Miranda, don't they?
They do, yeah, still Miranda.
I'm going to be there in a month.
What are you going to? Oh, you're going to the Milan Derby.
Milan Derby.
Sweet Jesus. By the way, they've only won 2 games of 4
Yeah.
in Serie A this year. Okay, so anyway, let's just do a quick Bruges and Dortmund. Yeah. Okay, let's just talk about the big ones. Monaco and Atletico Madrid, which takes place
Atletico
today.
are really struggling since they were predicted to do quite well in the league. They're already like a lot of points behind. I think it's between 5 and 8. I think.
Yeah,
They're
okay.
not doing well. So I'd fancy Monaco here.
Okay, Liverpool and PSG.
I think Liverpool will beat
I
them.
think he'll beat them.
Jesus.
Well,
Um,
both teams will score.
The team is amazing on paper, but they only have although Liverpool's midfield looks dodgy enough, but
I
it's still.
worry with Sturridge
How
up
does,
front.
how does
That's the
Liverpool's
biggest
midfield
worry.
look dodgy? It's not
Well,
the
it's
same
just
three?
it's Henderson and Milner, and it's not.
Wait,
I prefer
is Keita
Keita
not playing?
Keita's not playing.
Well, you've got like
Sorry,
experience.
we're playing Henderson, Milner, and Winnie.
Yeah, but
Sturridge isn't going to run after them. Like,
Well,
to close them
I
down.
think
don't
Liverpool will run
say.
after them, and I don't think Di Maria will chase much, and then that's a 2-man PSG midfield that surely won't work.
And why is Sturridge actually still at that club, John Mask? Like, he doesn't.
Because he
he
had
at
a-
all. Like, Klopp was given. He had 10 minutes to come on and just run around, and he just stood there.
Well,
I actually think he chased around a bit.
Yeah,
I
he
think
did
he's
chase around
alright.
quite a bit.
Maybe
And
like-
it was a lot of it. He was just kind of looking. He
Well-
was fresh legs, and he was just. Vertonghen was coming out with the ball, and he just kind of looked
for
at him
whatever
like,
reason, Dan, they must see something that we didn't, and he had a fantastic preseason. He's
After
gone
training-
from being loaned out to being the second choice striker. He jumped ahead of Solanke and Origi straight away, and Ings got sold.
Yeah, he's better.
Well, like,
he's
look at the
better-
competition you're with there.
But that's
Kid
why he's
and
still
the-
that's why he's still at the club.
Yeah.
He's the perfect good striker to back up a striker who's never
Messi
going to be
hat-trick.
replaced. Messi hat-trick. Okay, Real Madrid and Roma.
Madrid.
Madrid, probably.
Madrid, actually, if you watched them this year, I got the 11 Sports. Actually, pretty good. €60 for you want to get. I would recommend it. They're keeping the ball a lot more this year.
Yeah,
Lopetegui's completely changed in the style. So, like, obviously, they base the whole team around Ronaldo, the counter attack, and all that. But they're keeping the ball a lot more with Asensio, Isco, Modric, Cruz, obviously with that. So, like, it's a completely new style. But they're averaging probably about 15% more possession a game.
all right.
So-
Juve and Juve and Valencia
Ronaldo got his first 2 goals. One was a
Juve
nice
was
finish, one was
yeah.
a tap in. Douglas Costa spit in someone's mouth.
He
Someone
sure
had to
did.
mention it at some point.
He sure did.
And I didn't hear who they were playing, so I'm going to say Juventus win.
Okay, grand.
See,
City.
Parma beat Inter last week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Unreal.
Inter won 2.
Trevino up front, doing the business.
Yeah, amazing that he's still around.
See, the massive thing about Lucarelli, big massive article about him, how he was there in Serie C2 and worked their way all the way up
Yes.
as captain. They want to name the stadium after him.
Yes.
He's 41, finally retired this year. They want to retire number 6 as well, but that's very common in Italy anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
Maldini, Baresi, all these guys. But yeah.
Okay,
Unreal.
Dan, do you remember what teams we've done so far
We did
for the
Spurs.
most
We did
expensive?
Spurs
And
and
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Chelsea. Okay, right. We are going to do Liverpool.
Okay. We
I don't know if we still do the awards, but I figured it should be mentioned that George Weah played an actual match last week.
51, wasn't he?
Yeah, 79 minutes he played.
I'm sure he did great.
It wasn't his cousin as well.
All right.
Oh,
Now-
and Usain Bolt didn't do great in his debut in Australia.
oh yeah. Have we not done a show since that?
No.
Did you watch it extensively?
No.
Okay, guys, I don't have the harmonicas down here, so
Just
literally
put our hand or something?
first person to put their hand to full
Lava
height.
Suez.
That's absolutely grand.
Lava
Okay,
Suez.
all right. So
Yeah,
here we
say
go.
Lava Suez.
Lava Suez. Liverpool. Okay,
Liverpool.
goalkeeper.
FSG.
Obviously,
Yes,
Alison Becker.
Allison. Referred to him by his proper name, Ted Danson, and we've got 1 point for Dan. DJ.
No chance. Poor hat.
Okay, left back.
Me.
Yeah,
Moreno.
yeah. John, this is the one you could win.
I'm watching football. It's fine.
Jesus. Where's your pride?
Well, we're
Okay.
doing 2 shows while Dan's away next week, so
Left-sided centre back.
Me.
Yes.
Lovren.
Yes. Right-sided
on.
centre back.
Me again.
Dan.
Well, Van Dijk, obviously. I think I'm just playing with myself. You can
Right
just keep-
back.
Lava Suez. Glenn
Yes.
Johnson, the toilet.
That's all he wanted. Okay. Okay.
What formation are we playing?
We're doing 4-4-2, but these wingers can play as
Okay.
wing forwards as well.
Go on, you bastard.
Okay. Defensive midfield.
Lavasus.
Yes.
Kaita.
Incorrect.
Lava Suez.
Yes.
Fabinho.
Yes.
But he is there.
Centre midfield.
Lava Suez.
Yes.
Kaita.
Yes.
No,
Okay.
that's outrageous.
Kaita centre midfield and Fabinho.
So I've given you one of the midfielders. So it's
No,
one.
I
is
wasn't
there.
gonna get
I
Kaita.
said centre and defensive. I did split them up this week.
It doesn't matter. Come on, 2 central midfielders.
No,
It's one each.
it's
Neil.
a DM and a CM. Dan, you know the importance of of the difference.
Jeez.
It's like it's
Right.
it's
Fair
Makaleli
enough.
against Balak. All right.
It's outrageous.
Left-sided.
Me,
Go on.
Oxlade Chamberlain.
Yes. Now you happy?
I wouldn't have got him.
Right-sided winger.
Me,
Yes.
Salah.
Yes. And Dan has
Okay.
won.
Dan's
But
right.
here comes the
Has he?
fun. Centre forward A.
Hugo.
Yes. Centre forward B. Yes.
Andy Carroll.
Yes. Well done, lads.
2-1.
You got that.
Hey! Fuck you, Spurs.
Okay, and with that, we're going to talk real quick about the current
Average, was
fantasy
it?
team.
No?
In 20th place, I can't read that.
Neil,
19th
you're over 100 points behind me, and I'm mid-table.
in 19th place, Niall O'Byrne.
Over 100 points behind
Look,
me.
I'm going to fucking play my wild card. There, I said it. 18th place,
the silk shirt is out.
Robbie Normal.
Anson
17th,
Pochettino's
Regis
getting
Kerr.
sacked in the morning.
16th, James Byrne.
You
15th,
could have been Real
Shane
Madrid
Smith.
manager.
14th,
Yeah,
John
that's what
Carroll.
you should have taken.
13th, Sean Ryan. 12th, Ryan O'Doherty. 11th, Tom Eastaway. 10th, Greg Harrison. Dan is in 9th. Ross O'Neill in 8th. Shane O'Hart in 7th. Dave Nolte in 6th. Adam Joyce in 5th. Stephen Lane in 4th. Where were you, John? 14th, sorry. Yeah, there you go. Danny in 3rd. Stephen Vincent. Ronan O'Reilly is now top of the league for the first time, I believe.
I played my wild card today. So.
Well, I'll be doing that very soon. Thank you very
Will
much for
Jazz stay in
listening.
the team?
Jazz Richards for life. Thanks very much for listening to the show, everybody. If you enjoyed it, please log on to facebook.com/ITK Soccer Show. Give the page a
Great
like.
header.
Share it with your friends. We are on YouTube/ITK Soccer Show and at ITK Soccer Show on Twitter. We'll be back with a Danless show, myself and John, next week. So join us then and enjoy the football.
Some serious
until we
analysis
speak
on
to you one more
Liverpool
time.
Southampton.